2024 has come to an end, and what a year it's been. I set out to have 2024 be one of my best years yet, and it has been. Not because it was the most successful, but because I learned a lot, experienced a lot, and I just really took the time to look at life and learn from it. So, today I want to share with you the 24 lessons that I learned this year. These lessons are just a few of the many that I have learned this year, and they're not in any particular order, but I just wanted to share them with you, and I hope you can use them for your own good. Every win is a win, big or small. Just because you've experienced this win already, or just because someone has already achieved that, doesn't mean it isn't a win, right? Just because something is normal to someone else, but it's a difficult task for you to do, once you do it, that's a win. You should celebrate that. Be grateful for what you have, and instead of saying, why do that, say, I can do that, and take advantage of you being able to do that, whatever it is. Yes, being grateful is something we've always heard of, and it's definitely a very important part because it helps you see life in a better lens. Try to focus not only on all the blessings you have, but on what you get to do and what you can do. It's not that I have to go to the gym today. I get to go to the gym today, and I can because I have my body, I have my muscles, I have the power to go. And so flipping this perspective really helps you be more grateful and more appreciative of what you do have before you lose it. Don't hyperfixate on your plans. Just move one step at a time and rely on God or rely on the universe or whatever you believe in to guide you, and just trust that something better is waiting for you. Our imagination is limited. What will happen in the future is never sure. So just try your best, take it step by step, and ask yourself, what's the next best thing I could do? Don't look 10 steps ahead. Just look at the one step that you probably know you should be taking and work on that, fix that. Don't assume. It's one of the biggest lessons I learned this year, and every time I caught myself assuming, I just reminded myself of this lesson. We know just a small part of the truth, and then we think that we can assume the rest, and it's most likely true, but that's not the case in most cases. Most of the time, we only know just a small part of reality. Listen to the other person and know directly from them. And don't rely on your imagination in such cases. Ask questions. Be curious. Want to know more about life because it is very, very vast, and many people have come before us. They have experience, they know things that they could help us with. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Nobody doesn't need help, and whatever that help may be. But to ask for advice, to ask for help, and other people are always there to support you. Not everyone, but the right people and some good people will be able to help you. Slowly but surely. And slow and steady wins the race. So take things slowly sometimes. Sometimes it's better than rushing. You get to experience things more and you get to learn maybe better. You get to experience things more and to control them. In sports, they say work out slowly and in control. So you can control what you're doing. So you can pay attention to what you're doing. So you can apply that to life as well. I was listening to a podcast and I heard this quote: what makes you weird makes you wonderful. It's your superpower. The thing that you're insecure about or that you don't really like, maybe you can turn that into something that makes you special, and from a weakness to a strength. If they could, and if they wanted to, they would do better. You have to go easy on other people, empathize a bit more with them, and understand that sometimes people really are giving it their all, but maybe it's just not their biggest strength. So go easy. This question has helped me really be more aware of myself lately, and it's this: if your future self was watching you right now, What would they want you to do? What would they be telling you to do? What would they expect of you or be waiting from you just so you can reach that better self? Consider that. Don't let your thoughts run, lead them. Be with your thoughts more. Observe them and control them, and this is a skill that you build with time. But don't let the negative thoughts eat you alive. You have to slowly learn how to flip the switch and flip the perspective. I saw this video and the girl said that sometimes your accessories and your outfit could be accessorized with things other than, just a belt or a bag or sunglasses. You could carry a book around with you, and that could be an accessory. And it has been my favorite accessory lately. I always have a book with me in my bag or in my car, and whenever I'm somewhere and end up having to wait for a long time, I eventually start reading. I actually finished the whole book just by reading it while I was away and busy, but I had some free time. So keep something tiny with you, and you never know when you could use it and benefit from it. This is a concept that I am still struggling to actually live because it's not easy, it's not a switch, but it is true when you come to think of it. The past and the future, they're just illusions, and everything you have is the now. It's right now. You experience what is happening to you and with you and around you in the moment. And because of that, you can decide right now that I'm no longer that shy person. I'm no longer that lazy person. That was someone in the past. These were my past actions, and the past has gone away. So from now on, from this moment on, I can choose to change that. And that gives you a lot of power if you can really use that and really crack that code. It's always better to be the reason someone has smiled today, or they've laughed, or they felt pretty. So being kind goes a long way, and don't always expect something in return, but try to give love and be kind to others, no matter who they are. People aren't scary. Some of them are scared, and some of them are scarred. I'm someone who is easily anxious in social situations, and I always feel stressed when I have to meet someone new or when I put myself in a completely new and different situation. But once you really meet people, you realize that we're all humans, and most of the time they're kind, maybe they're shy as well. So with time, it becomes easier to approach people and to realize that they are like you. We can relate, and some of us are just hurt. Spend time with your loved ones, especially your grandparents. I love listening to my grandparents' stories and their different perspectives. They lived a different life in a different generation, and I always just enjoy that quality time with them. Listen to their stories and see how different their lives were, what lessons they could teach you, and just enjoy their company. I have listened to quotes and life lessons my whole life. I've always loved that, and I've always admired self-development and been a fan of this niche. But even if I learned the lesson, I wouldn't really absorb it until I've been in a situation where I needed it, or until I was ready to really understand it. We all hear these very cliche and cheesy tips, but unless you find yourself in a certain situation, you might not really understand and truly feel and take in that life lesson or that quote. So all you have to do is prepare, and when you're ready, you'll understand it. It's so easy to judge and to look at others, but don't judge others without going back to yourself and looking at how that thing could be reflected in you. Take it as a lesson to grow and to improve, and I know it's human nature, but try to slowly stop making it a habit. Try seeing the good in every single situation. In Arabic, here in Lebanon, we have a saying that says, لا تكره شر لعله خير. Don't hate the bad situation, it could be good for you, and you're only gonna understand that down the line. So even if you don't understand it now, try to just take it in, deal with it, and remember it because you're gonna understand later. Write down your ideas, but stay organized, and as soon as possible, try to execute them because I have so many good ideas written down, but I'm just now starting to execute them and actually bring them to life. And that light bulb that pops, it is most intense at first, but after a while, that light starts to fade. So take advantage of that light bulb idea and execute it as soon as you can. Believe in yourself before you expect others to believe in you. It's true that showing confidence, even if you don't have the skill or even if you don't actually have the confidence, it makes other people believe you and trust you and have confidence in you. So make that a skill and a habit. Obviously, it's one you've all heard before, but don't rely on looks. What you see is just the tip of the iceberg, and people can very easily put on a mask in a good way or in a bad way. Check in on people and try to understand the other person, especially when they do you wrong. Learn to cut out distractions and noises and learn to listen to your heart and focus on what you really want, because that's the true skill. They say the eyes never lie. The eyes show where you're focusing, what you're seeking, what you're looking for. So be very careful with your eyes and be careful what other people are looking into sometimes. It's definitely something that could help you read others and also understand yourself. Just notice what catches your eye first and what you find yourself looking for or looking at. That could be a great lesson. And finally, we are all human. We are all living the human experience and we all have emotions, weaknesses, we go through difficulties, and it's really life. We all love stories and we all have emotions, and it's a journey that we all have to go through. We're all here to play a certain part in the universe, in the world. We all affect one another, and I just hope that I could leave a good influence in a way. So that's life, and try to enjoy it because that's just the way it is. 2024 was my best year so far, not because I achieved the most or had the most success. This year I learned, realized, thought, felt, experienced. I failed and I cried and I hoped and I loved and I dreamed. But all of that has made this my best year yet. So I hope that you learn from this year, learn to improve, and I hope 2025 is an amazing year for you and for all of us. Take care and have a happy new year.